Hello everyone, episode 2 where structure found its witness. So these two words let's try to understand without wasting any time. Before Laravel and Symfony, there is a very beautiful framework that rolled PHP evolved and that is CakePHP. So it take birth in 2005 and why developer have has to do to create this framework, what is the need, we will understand in this video. And how this framework is look like, what is the difference between these frameworks and other frameworks, we will see. It came in 2005 and Laravel came in 2011 and still Laravel is used and very popular. So in between Cake PHP and Laravel there are many frameworks we will discuss in the upcoming videos, all the frameworks. Okay, so let's move to the next slide. So what is the origin story? So this framework is created to simplify the web development. Okay, that is the very basic thing. So this framework is inspired by a Ruby on Rails. So Rails is a framework by a Ruby language. Okay, we have Spring Boot in Java. So similarly, Ruby in 2005 is very popular language for web application, and Rails is the one of the framework of Ruby. That Rails is very popular at that time in Ruby language, and it used MVC architecture and reusable code and structure and speed. So inspired that developer inspired by these Ruby on Rails framework, and they did the same functionality and all in Cake PHP. So officially they introduced Cake PHP in 2005, and before that they have to use unstructured code. Like they have to manually create directories, assets, Cake PHP source folder, and all these things manually. And they figure out one thing, like every time whenever they start a project, these things are very common in all the projects. They have to add authentication, validation, and all. So what they did, they add all the things in one place and they created a framework Cake PHP in 2005. Okay, so after Cake PHP the structure will look like something like this, we will see in the next part. So what is MVC in Cake PHP? Very important. MVC you may hear like many times, and after you will also forget after some time, but I will try to explain, like you will never able to forget. So MVC, model view controller, you know the full form. So what is the meaning of that, we will try to understand by using two examples. One is the general life example and another one is the technical example. So in technical example we have model. In model we have like integer, string, we will mention all the data types and all, and we will mention, okay, if someone asks from database, okay, try to fetch the user from data, all the user from database, then model will interact with the database. And controller we have the logic, okay, and controller talk with the model and model with the database. Okay, and controller also handle what will happen in that, what you want in that view. Okay, like when you click on the button in view there will be button, and what will happen on button click, controller know, and controller handle model and database. So controller has their model, okay, like we have a pattern or structure in database, and we can ask the data from database. Okay, so that is the thing, like controller talk with model and model talk with database, controller also talk with view. So similarly in the kitchen there are many items, there is utensil, there is Maggi items, there is vegetables and fruits and all, and the manager is the controller. He control the kitchen also, he can control the waiter also. So controller is the main person as a manager, you can think, and user is like browser. Okay, so view serve to the user and browser, that's all. I think that is clear. And while a developer loved Cake PHP, I am talking about 2005. So Cake PHP is loved by developer in 2005. Like their love is like very unconditionally. You know why? Because three words: convention over configuration. And you know these two words similarly applied in Rails, Ruby on Rails. So as I told you, Cake PHP is inspired from Ruby on Rails, and there is also these three words: convention over configuration. What is the meaning of that? No need to write everything from manually. What is the meaning of that? So configuration means like you have to write the very long configuration file, and it will take very large amount of time, like configure file, and to overcome this, convention take control over configuration. What is the meaning of that? Like when our framework automatically assume, okay, if you create a model with the name user, then the table name will be automatically users. Okay, and the controller name will be users controller. Okay, so our framework automatically assume that. Okay, so that is convention, we have some default rules over configuration. Okay, that's why developer loved CakePHP. There is no confusion. Every time when they create a model, they automatically know, okay, the table name will be users and the controller name will be that. Okay, the service name will be that. Blade name will be that. Okay, so that is the convention over configuration. These three words, and it is the base of the our framework CakePHP. Okay, so code reusable will be there because component we have to create. No need to do from like scratch. And I already told you they have figured out some issues. Okay, every time they have to create validation with authentications and ORM, so they added all the things in a package, and that framework is there, PHP. What is ORM? Like you may know, or you may also know, but I will tell you. ORM is object relation model, like the relationship between object and model. That is ORM. What is the meaning of that? Like every time when you want, like I want to fetch all the users from database, you have to write SQL queries, or like if you are using MongoDB, you have to write document, you have to use like so every time there is no need to write SQL queries. So you use objects in PHP, and that object deal with model and model database. So there is a relation between object and model in PHP, and that concept is also used in Laravel also and many other frameworks. Auto routing and easy URL handling. Okay, that's it. So this is a simple example. Like don't wait to panic. It's a simple example. I will try to give you a brief. Okay. Hello is the route, and controller name page is section. Leave it. And we have a controller, with the name of page controller, and in controller we have hello function, which will be welcome to PHP, and the hello.php we have a file template, and it will print the message. That's all. Leave it. Okay, very important step, setting up CakePHP. Okay, now you know what is CakePHP. Now let's move to some practical stuff. So very easy. We will try to understand each and every word of that command. Or okay, so here the first word is composer. You may hear somewhere. What is a composer? So before doing all this stuff, let's try to understand what is composer in the episode or in this story. So composer, it's a dependency manager. Who is dependency manager? Like we have, you have a heard about npm for Node.js and pip, Python package installer for Python. Similarly, in PHP we have composer. Okay, it is a dependency manager. What is the meaning of that? Dependency. What is the meaning of dependency manager here? I will forget. Don't worry. We will understand it deeply. You will never forget again. So in the most of the framework, Laravel, CakePHP, all the Git, all the like these our frameworks are posted on the Git repositories, usually on GitHub. Okay, let's try to explain it more deeply. So, have you ever think whenever you run the command, your project structure is there? Okay, like this structure, GitHub, bin, this whole structure is there. You have to think from where this structure came. So this is like hosted on the GitHub. When you execute that command in your VS Code or whatever terminal, then it what will happen in the backend? The request sent to the GitHub, and what will happen there? Let's try to understand. So in this command, composer is there, a world. Okay, just think a world composer. Create create project is there. Okay, a world. Preferred div, a word. CakePHP/app. Two words. CakePHP app demo. One word. So what happened in basically in backend? So you are basically telling to composer, fetch the source code of that repository. We have a repository name, CakePHP/app, from package list which point to the GitHub internally. What is the meaning of that? So you are user, and you run this command. Then you telling the composer, okay composer, can you fetch this CakePHP app from package list.org? Then the request sent to the package list.org. Okay, and internally it fetch from the GitHub and give it to composer, and composer send it to your terminal. Okay, also it will download all the dependency that is mentioned in the composer.json file. Okay, let me show you that also. You will also see in practical, but let me show here. Here is composer.json. Okay, when you hit that command, that composer.json, all the dependency mentioned in this JSON file, .json file. So that composer install it automatically, no headache. Okay, that is the thing now the developer focused on. That is the basic requirement why developer need framework. You have to just run one command and everything will be in your hand. Okay, that's why. Now you will understand now, like if you ever use install or use Laravel framework on any other framework, you will run a command. What will happen in background? So it will fetch the data from the GitHub. Okay, and after fetching get data from GitHub, it will install it on locally. That is mentioned in the composer.json file. Okay, that's all. So now let's move to the practical part. So we understand what is composer. Then what is create project? Okay, it's just a word that install all the required dependencies, set it in a new folder. Just you can think like that. Before behind these words, there is some logic is there, some code is there. Like whenever create project is there, what you have to do. Okay, it may look like one word create project, but behind this create project there is something else. Okay, so there is a flag properties. It will only download the that required prepackaged data only, not entire Git repository. Okay, if you will not use that word, then it will install all entire Git repository in your local. Okay, and this is the repo name on GitHub, and this is our project name. And composer is dependency manager. What is dependency here? I already told you na, in composer.json file all the dependencies is mentioned. So that composer is dependency manager. It will manage all the dependencies. Okay, now you understand what is composer. Similarly in npm node.js, npm is there. Similarly in python pip is there, pip. Okay, so let's move to the practical part. So first of all, we will create a folder here. Let's do it fast. We'll do CakePHP and right click on it, and we will open with the VS Code. Okay, yeah, and now we will run the command. First of all, we will check is composer installed or not. So we will use composer install. Okay, composer JSON file is not there. Okay, because there is no app now. Okay, so CakePHP is here. Now first what we will do, composer version. Okay, composer is there. Okay, composer version is there. Now what we have to do, we have to execute this command. Okay, oh sorry for that. Composer create React project, we have to do this command. So we will copy this. I will give you it in the description. You can copy from there and we will execute there. So it will see, you will see this will install the CakePHP app, extracting archive file and installing all the dependency that is mentioned in the JSON file. And this is the structure. That's all. In composer.json, these all are the dependencies. Okay, and it will install it on your local. It will ask the permission to access, and now everything is done. This is the CakePHP. Okay, that's all, nothing else. It is CakePHP. Also one more thing, you have to, if you want to run this, then move that folder and you have to run this command bin. Then your server will run and you can check it. It will show okay, welcome to CakePHP. That's all, nothing else. Now we have set up CakePHP also. I think that's all for this video. In the next video we will see the Symfony, the next framework that came after CakePHP. So like, share this video and subscribe our channel CodeRanBhumi. Thank you.